If children of the house of our goo saw children of the house of our guy, they would their tongues. If children of the house of our guy saw children of the house of our goo, they would hiss like snakes. The barbed wire fence that separated these two great houses was kept tall and strong. Now sometimes a boy of our goo would play by the fence with his ball, while a girl of our guy on the other side danced to the music in her heart. Now some say that a ball does not like to play with one child alone, but must share the joy and play of laughter. Now whether that be true or not, one cannot be sure, but on one particular day, the ball decided to play a trick on the children. It slipped from the boy's hand, rolled through the fence, and came to a stop at the feet of the girl. And she was so caught up with dancing to the music in her own heart that she picked up the ball and she passed it through the fence to the boy. But the moment their hands touched, she realized what she had done, and she hissed like a snake. But he did not click his tongue back. He smiled as if to say, "Thank you." She could not help but smile back. But then their hearts turned cold, for on either side of the fence there stood the father of the house of our goo and the mother of the house of our guy. "This is forbidden. You have shamed us all," said the mother. And without another word, the two were dragged home and punished. That night, the boy asked his father, "Why can't I play with the girl of our God? Her blood is unclean." And the girl asked a similar question of her mother, and her mother replied, "It is not for us to ask, only to obey." And so from that day on, the boy his tongue and the girl hissed. Well, not truly from that day on, for soon the ball got tired of all this noise making. It jumped from the boy's hand, leaped over the fence, and fell into the open palm of the girl. They looked at each other through the fence, and they froze with fear. But as they stood there looking at each other, fear slowly turned to wonder, for he said to himself, "She has two eyes, just like me." And she to herself said, "And he has two lips and a friendly smile." And then they spoke as if in the same words. "When you get hurt, do you cry?" And then they babbled back and forth together. "Parents are silly. Oh, all we want to do is play." "We'll be punished." "No, we won't. We'll find a place, a secret place, all our own." And so the boy walked along one side of the fence in one direction, and the girl walked along the other side in the other direction. The very next day, the boy signaled to the girl to follow the fence to her right. Now anyone watching could not have realized what they were up to, for it looked as if the boy was playing with his ball and the girl was dancing to the music in her heart. But soon they disappeared over the brow of the hill, down into a secluded valley. And there, at the foot of the valley, stood a tall old tree. Somehow, its branches had grown into the shape of a heart. And one of its great roots had tangled itself into the fence, and over many long years it pulled and tore at the fence until there was a great gap, a hole joining the lands of Argu with the lands of Argai. And here is where they met, these two children, inseparate, in the shade of the heart-shaped tree. This is where they sat together, as if in their own private shrine. Here is where they played, and where the girl danced not only to the music in her own heart, but in the boy's as well. Now, the very first day they met, he asked her name, and she answered, Abraham. What is yours? I am Agram, the oldest son. Oh, no, not Agram. That is my brother's name. He must not find us here. We are safe. And safe they were in this private shrine for the longest time. But one day, they played and laughed and played until their cheeks and sides ached. They lay themselves down against the heart-shaped tree and they fell asleep. They slept well past their lunch, past their dinner, even past their bedtime. And when they awoke, their hearts were cold. For there, on either side of the fence, hung these two great globes of light. And within that light, angry voices shouted, You are the father of the house of Argu. You must take up the first stone. You are the mother of the house of Argai. You must take up the first stone. As Agram and Agriam trembled with fear, two shapes, one from either side of the fence, stepped forward. At first they were shapeless shadows, but soon they turned into the father and the mother. In the name of duty, cried the one. In the name of honor, cried the other. Reluctantly, the father and the mother, they knelt, their hearts pounding, as each picked up a stone. The voices of both houses united into one great cry that shook the branches of the heart-shaped tree. Stone them! Stone them! Stone them! As angry as the father was, he could not throw a stone at his own son, so he aimed at the girl. The mother did the same and aimed at the boy. From either side, they let their stones fly. But the stones were not content to do as they were commanded. The father's stone turned away from the girl and struck his own son hard upon the lip. The mother's stone struck her own daughter just below the eye. As both wounds poured with blood, both families hung their head in shame. The light of the torches began to flicker. More shapes began to step forward from the light. Those of brothers, sisters, aunts, and uncles, those of grandparents and of friends. father and the mother, they ran to their own child, knelt and begged forgiveness. And while still on their knees, they turned and saw each other's face through the shrine of the fence. And for the first time, they were not the heads of two great houses, separated by generation upon generation of hatred and mistrust. No. For the first time, they saw one another as equals. For each saw the pain of the other and felt the deep cut of their own shame. The father wiped the tears and blood from the face of his son Agron, and the mother did the same for her daughter Agriana. The moon began to reach out her arms of light, dimming the torches. Agron and Agriana looked around into the faces of all those who were gathered around them. And then they took their father and mother by the hand and led them in a dance. Back and forth through the shrine of the fence, until everyone, every man, woman and child, danced to the music in their own hearts.